I'm Coach Denny, being joined by a special guest today, guy that I've been fortunate to create a friendship with through this awesome game of football. Guy who's spent a lot of time in the media and has a really, really cool story that I think you're going to like. So he was nice enough to come in today and give me a chance to sit him down and ask a few questions and learn a little bit more about him and his career in the sports field and what he's doing currently. And, share a little bit more with us about the things that he's done in his life and the career that he's built. And so I'm excited to have him here today and can't wait to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mr. Brett Quintyne.
Hey, everybody. Mike, it's cool to be a guest.
Yeah.
Normally I'm in your seat,
Yeah.
but just to kind of sit back and we're doing it unscripted.
Right.
We're just kind of chatting a little football. We've, I think it's 13 years. I moved here in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming up on September of 2015, so that'll be 13 years. I feel we were connected maybe a year or two after. So we've known each other over 10 years.
It's been a long time.
Because actually the funny thing is, and you would know better than I do, were you at the game, my first ever CUST football game was at Chandler High School in 2012. Basha blew a big halftime lead. At the time, Nate Phillips was on the team. Were you on that Basha staff at that point? Because you've gone back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were at my first game. I didn't even know you then.
Yeah. I mean, heck, who knew? But I started at Bash in 2009, so I had to have been there.
Okay, so you're there. Okay.
14 or 15, give or take.
Right,
I should know all this, but man, it's been so long and so many things.
You leave those small details to me. Because I remember that game very vividly.
The short answer is it's been a long time, and it's been really cool to be able to watch and follow and kind of see, what you're doing and keeping a finger on the pulse of all the things that you do for our district, and just football in general. In combination with that, obviously you do a fair amount of baseball, reporting, announcing, and all those kinds of things too. So it's very easy to say, and I think it's pretty easy to see that you're just a sports guy, man. And sports guys love sports guys, and our combos always get pretty, excitable. I think when we get going and talking and carrying on, and I mean my heart beats fast for it, and I know yours does too. And so, but having you here today, I wanted to just share with the audience and help them kind of understand a little bit more about you as a person. Obviously, we can then dig into the career stuff, maybe some best moments and favorite things that you've done over the course of your career, what you're doing currently and how all of that looks and so on. But let's go back to the beginning. Born and raised.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn is, it was good to me. It was very good to me. Blessed to have lived there for a long time. Minor league baseball took me through a lot of different stops. Went up to school at Syracuse University, so I'm an Orange.
Okay.
Just the whole Brooklyn, Manhattan thing. I feel very blessed to be from the city. Something I tell a lot of young folks, and you and I, we both run into younger athletes. If you can swing it at all for 2 years in your adult life, live in New York City. You will just be that much more educated on different nationalities, different cultures, different creeds, how people go about their business, big business and small business. I mean, that's what makes New York City go. You'll understand why some people are always in a rush and some people are not. I mean, that's why I love Arizona. My days of rushing to places are over.
Yeah.
I don't like to be late for anything, but my life, and you've heard the term concrete jungle, New York City is that.
Absolutely.
It's a very different lifestyle. But at the same time, it's a good path.
Right.
You get exposed to a lot of different things. I mean, the amount of sports teams, Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, etc. Blah,
it's all
blah.
right there.
It is all right there. It's, I'll say my house in Brooklyn to the Empire State Building was just under 11 miles.
Holy smoke! So you were right in the middle.
Right, but it took me an hour and a half to get there.
Well, I can imagine.
Right? So
I can imagine.
It's different. It's different.
We took a trip there. It's probably been 6 or 8 years ago now, 6 or 7 summers ago. Went out for about a week. And of course, we're tourists, did all the touristy stuff. You know, the 9/11 memorial. We actually took the train over to the Bronx and watched a Yankees game.
Okay.
Wasn't too long after they got into their new stadium. That was a heck of an experience. And the food and the people and the pace of the city is just unreal.
Yes.
I mean, man, I was, so quick story. I was flying in, talking to a guy next to me. He's from New York. So I'm like, I got 3 hours. I'm going to ask this dude anything I can that I might, need to know when I get there. And so I'm asking him like, hey, what do I need to know or look out for? What's cool to do? You get a local, man. They're going to tell you
absolutely
the fun stuff, the real stuff, not the things you see in the brochure at the hotel, right? And so anyway, he goes, just know that on Monday, the streets, the sidewalks are literally going to look like a herd of cattle. There's this much room in between each person. Their heads are down and they're moving one direction. He said, what'll happen if you get caught in the middle of that, you might have to go an extra block before you can work your way off and merge, if you will.
Correct.
Out of the pace of the pedestrian traffic. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So check this out. So Monday morning, I looked down out of the window of the hotel and I'm like, that's what he was talking about. And they were and I had an umbrella because it was raining that day. And I get in that mix and we're cruising along and I'm just poking people all over the place and I'm feeling bad about it. But I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm from Arizona. I don't know how to use one of these umbrellas very well. I haven't had a lot of experience with this thing, So, but anyway, it was a cool trip and a heck of a lot of fun. And so, Brooklyn or New York until what age? Went to Syracuse, so you stayed there going through college.
Yep.
And then what?
First job out of school at a all news radio station called 1010 Wins.
Okay.
Their slogan. You give us 22 minutes, we give you the world.
Let's go.
8 minutes of commercials and 22 minutes of news.
There you go.
4 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
That was introduction to life.
Yeah.
It's like,
So you're on the radio then as a jock or what?
Production assistant. Production assistant behind the scenes. Just
nice.
Shows how long ago it was. There was no Adobe Audition or anything like that. You're truly cutting up tape with a razor blade.
Oh no!
And pasting it together, and you had those big reels,
reel to reel,
and you recorded it, and then you gave it to the editor or anchor, and that's how they played the news.
Dude.
Yeah. So
that's from
this is the early '90s.
Yeah,
this is the early '90s. Yeah. So it was, you truly were using a razor blade to edit. There was no computer stuff where let me roll it back here and beep beep beep. No,
cut the tape. I guess
right. It was
is that where that came from?
That's exactly right. And truly, tape was on the floor.
Wow.
Truly, tape was on the floor.
Yeah, the cutting floor or the cutting room floor.
Cutting room floor. Yeah, you splice it up,
make it
and the stuff goes right in the trash can.
That's crazy.
So yes,
that's cool.
Exactly.
Man, I had no idea that was how it went. I can remember watching film on a reel to reel in my early years, like maybe 93, 92, 93 playing. And it wasn't too long after that. Then DVR, VCR, whatever the heck it is, VHS came out and stuff. But man, that's crazy. Yeah. So spent some time on the radio, and that was in New York, correct?
That was in New York. Okay. Was not on air. That was all me doing production.
How long did you stay with those guys?
February 11th of 91 to early May of 93. Got an internship at the Orioles. So I moved to Baltimore. Worked there with John Miller, who's now the voice of the San Francisco Giants, big ESPN guy. He's still to this day, he's one of my mentors. He's just been really good to me. So that was 93 season. The goal was to get a minor league job from that, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened the way you want it. So, wound up DJing for a rock station in 94. Cool. And then finally in 95, I got the baseball break in a horrible town called East Chicago, Indiana. I don't mind saying it's a horrible town.
East Chicago, Indiana.
Yes, it's adjacent to Gary, which Gary was fine, but East Chicago is just And I hate saying a town is horrible, but it just
was.
Okay? It just was not.
They earned it.
They yes. So actually, that's where, and you know him, Coach Mayberry. Mm-hmm. He was a player on that team. I was the radio voice of that team in 1995.
Oh, so that's the connection.
30 years ago, we were.
Now I get it. I often wondered how the two guys got all
absolutely. And to show you how bad that league was, we weren't riding buses to the road games. We were riding the back of vans. Mm. It was just not.
Wow.
It wasn't good. But that was the introduction to minor league baseball. Absolutely. And then, let's see, 96, didn't do anything in the game. 97, Lynn, Massachusetts Mad Dogs. And
okay.
It was a step better than East Chicago.
You're improving.
Right.
You're feeling better about things.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm moving up.
It was just outside of Boston, so I ran to Boston anytime I could. With no money, because I'm not making any money
but I'm
at the time. But I'm in Boston.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
98 through 2000 is where I really felt good about broadcasting. I was the radio voice for a team in Amarillo, Texas, the Amarillo Dillers. It was an independent league team, but we were flying. We were in nice buses. It was good. It was... And Amarillo, if people don't know, it's exactly halfway between Oklahoma City and Albuquerque along I-40.
Okay.
So 4 hours in each direction. The market is open.
The market is open. In case you folks at home were wondering, the market is now open.
Amarillo reminded me of, well, I can't say it reminded me of, Chandler, Arizona, and Amarillo, I feel, had very similarities in the late 90s. I didn't get to Chandler, obviously, until 15 years later. But Western town, very wide open, friendly. Yeah. Loved their sports. They really enjoyed it. So that's what drew me to Chandler many years later. But Amarillo was awesome from 98 to 2000. 01 didn't do anything. Unfortunately, I'm going to say politics got me out of Amarillo in 2000. Not national politics, but more local. The restaurant owner bought the team and this and that, and then they bring in their cousin to do the games.
Oh,
and
sure.
Like that.
Sure. Yeah.
02 and 03, the Norwich Navigators in the Eastern League. So that's AA now for the Yankees. I've got one of these rings. You got some fat rings. I do have a ring from 02 because we won the Eastern League.
And where's this at now?
I'm sorry,
Texas?
Norwich is in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh, wow. Connecticut. Okay, so you're bouncing around quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Throughout all this change.
Correct. We had Roger Clemens on rehab. So to sit and talk with him on rehab, because they're not as intense for rehab as they are at a big league start. So to get to know him, Andy Pettit a little bit, Brian Cashman. Cool. It was good stuff. It was very
Cashman's
good
a
stuff.
GM now, isn't he?
He's still this was early stage. He took over in 97.
So he was GM then?
Cashman has been the GM for a very long time. So that was really good stuff. I mean, we're dealing with like bona fide big leaguers and all that sort of stuff. I guess. So that was good stuff. And then they had 15 rainouts in 03, and no minor league team can survive 15 rainouts. That's very tough. One of the first people to go is the radio guy.
Well, that makes sense.
So we can't afford
no tickets, no concessions.
Right.
And they're like, we're done.
Exactly.
We're out of money.
So the team could not afford me. So back in New York, worked for Sirius XM skip that. Worked for MLB.com, 75 9th Avenue. Their headquarters were in Greenwich Village, essentially, meatpacking district. So there I was doing some on-air stuff. The whole .com thing was rising up. Got to work and meet good people. Harold Reynolds, who you probably have heard of him, though. So he was
on TV and radio
absolutely, So he was a good guy. Then the MLB network came along, and they didn't need smaller .com people like myself. So then I slid over to Sirius XM, still in New York. So I was there from 09 to 2012. Then I was like, got married in 2010. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to get out of New York. It's time to go someplace where I think sports is going to thrive and could thrive, because you figure in 2012, you've been a basher for a while, back and forth. You've seen the rise of high school sports over the last 15 years. So I jumped on the early cusp of that, and I feel fortunate to be riding the wave ever since.
Yeah.
So high school sports is still getting bigger and bigger, from radio shows to podcasts to games being on national TV, all of that
it's definitely
stuff.
growing. I mean, as the kids get bigger, faster, stronger, I feel like the game becomes that much more appealing.
Yes.
And it's not, I'm trying to say this in the best way that I can, not just young kids. I mean, it's getting to a point now to where it's like just shorter. I mean, it's just under college football and always has been, right? But I don't know. I just think that the growth of player, of program, of financial ability, which allows for network, all of that.
Yes.
It's just the growth is exponential everywhere.
It is.
Like across the board, not just the kids.
Correct.
Not just the broadcasting opportunities.
Right, we're seeing coaches like an Iguano going to ASU.
Yeah, guys are getting opportunities.
Yes.
And it's really cool to see. And it's cool that I think, here in Arizona, we all talk about Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Florida. And we know there's some good football being played there. But we like to think that we're
Arizona's top 5.
We're rapidly approaching, right? We're sneaking up on the deal there.
Definitely top 10. Knocking on the door of top 5. And again, depending on the year, because things fluctuate all over. Some classes in Georgia are stronger than Arizona and vice versa. But big time consideration, I'd say 5 maybe. I think the model still is Texas. I think that still is, and I don't see anybody touching that for a very long time, if ever.
Right.
Florida, certainly.
Justifiably so. They've earned it.
Right. And the size of the state is ridiculous, because you look at Arizona, we have 2 big cities, Phoenix and Tucson. You've got some smaller ones, and not even getting the Flagstaff is number 3, we'll say. The Coolidges of the world, the Prescott Valleys, they don't put out a ton of D1 football guys. You look at a Texas, Austin, Dallas, Houston,
Pick a
city, exactly.
They got dudes everywhere.
Right. You can even mix in an Amarillo.
That's true.
Or
like the
Paso.
saturation of the state collectively.
I
mean, Chandler obviously is leading the charge with those kids that you just described. But, the outlying areas, maybe not so much, but I get what you're saying. Like in Texas, I mean, you go from east to west, border to border, and top to bottom.
You've got
everywhere in between. There's guys that can play.
Absolutely.
So you end up coming out to Arizona. Welcome to the desert, which that's a little late now. It's been quite a few years, but whatever. And what happens then? I mean, you get in, you get acclimated, you get situated. You're looking for work. Obviously, you're looking to get back maybe on the radio or doing some announcing or something along those lines in media.
Absolutely.
What happens once you arrive, and what did you get into first?
So 2012 was kind of like you said, a welcome to Arizona. Just trying to understand what's out there and who's out there and that sort of thing. Actually, 2 folks who I'm going to say were pretty, I can't say necessarily influential, but very welcoming. Kevin Ray, TV voice of the Phoenix Suns now. At the time, he was very much in charge of high school sports. It was his company that really defined who was doing the broadcasting, because Kevin Ray did the championships for many years. So I connected with him March or April when I was in New York, because I knew I was coming out here.
Right.
We connected. I guess I had sent him my resume and all that sort of stuff. I just kind of stayed in touch with him. And then Al McCoy, the late Al McCoy, He actually invited me into his office. It was actually October 3rd of 2012. And we sat and talked, and I just got to understand the Phoenix broadcast landscape through him. Yeah, he gave me a lot of time on October 3rd of 2012.
Shazam.
There we go. Absolutely.
Zing goes the strings.
He was good. He was
awesome.
Rest in peace. He was terrific. So those two guys I'd met early on, and then I forget the date, but early March of 2013. So now we're into maybe a little bit later, maybe late March. During high school baseball season, Kevin Ray calls me one morning. Hey, can you do a Hamilton Mountain Point game this afternoon? I was like, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure,
so in that game, Cody Bellinger was starter for Hamilton. And I forget the young man's name for Mountain Point. First round pick the year after. And I apologize. But there were some studs in that game. So that was the first high school ball game I did. And then I start jumping on Twitter, and I see this thing getting into my feed, Seatown Rivals.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, this seems interesting. They cover Chandler schools. I live in Chandler.
I'm in Chandler. Shoot, yeah.
Correct. So the guy's name, Ralph Amsden, who we've all gotten to know. I shoot a text, email, tweet to him or whatever it was. And we talked, and he was like, yeah, with your experience, it seems like you really want to get involved in high school sports.
He's probably super
like, hey, come on board. Right, absolutely. Yeah. So we connected, and we started the podcast with a young guy named Fabian Ardaya, who now writes for the Dodgers, and a guy named Don Cotronio, who I think he's doing some stuff with the Brewers now. And then Chili came on board with some tape segments, and then the Seatown Rivals podcast still keeps going, and that really was kind of my indoctrination to high school.
So what year are you in with Seatown Rivals?
This will be year number 13.
Oh, geez. So that jumped off right when you got here then.
Yeah, so this will be my
I remember when Ralph was starting it off. I remember Dom.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that.
Yeah, because Dom went to Basha,
and
Fabian went to Chandler.
And I knew Dom had gotten into doing, some stuff with major league teams, and kind of following that around. I lost, track a little bit of what he's doing, but the name definitely rings a bell.
Yep.
And so you focus primarily, obviously, on Chandler Unified Schools.
Correct. So when we first started, there was no ACP.
Okay.
And there was no Castile.
Right. Yeah.
And so we had those. I'm going to call them the Big Four: Perry, Basha, Chandler, Hamilton, along with Valley Christian and Seton Catholic. So it was those six.
Okay.
And then Marcus Williams, he had mentioned, hey, there's Castile is going to be starting at some. I'm like, I didn't put it all together, and then I realized it's named after Dr. Camille Castile, and in turn ACP jumped off, and now the podcast is 8 teams, and we've seen ACP move locations, which is phenomenal, and rise up in classifications. So it's been good.
So ACP used to be housed at one time was Chandler Junior High.
Okay, over on Erie and High School, in Alma School or something like that. Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, they're in the old Smitty's building, weren't they? Alma School and Warner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alma School
was the southeast corner, I believe.
That sounds about right. Yes. Because now it's back to an elementary school or something like that.
Yeah, who knows? They bounce around.
Yeah.
These academies all over the place.
Yes.
To keep up with. So then you've seen the growth.
I've seen the growth. I did.
The number of kids and families coming into Arizona, of course, has warranted that and justified that, and been a big reason as to why, you've added 4 schools. I graduated 1994. Geez, Pete. But at the time, there was one high school here. It was Chandler High. That was it. There was no Perry. There was no Basha. There was no Hamilton. None of those guys, right? And so that's been 30-something years. So I start looking at the deal, and I'm thinking to myself, there's been 6 or 7 schools added in that 30 years. So every 5 years,
Sure.
we're building
somebody's
another
new,
school
right?
just to keep up with the pace of folks moving in
Absolutely.
and whatnot. So it's cool. It's exciting. You know,
It is. It really is.
It has a lot to do with, I think, why the district is as strong as it is because
Yes.
of all the young growth,
Absolutely.
and the young families and the kids kind of growing up and being immersed in the area. You know, as opposed to some of the older, you know, the Mesa.
Right.
There's just they're landlocked. There's no
Correct.
new growth.
There's not a lot
new
of
families coming
right.
in.
And I'll
They're
say
kind of aging
props
out, right?
to the ADs and the football coaches over there. Halfcock is now at Mesa, and Andy Litton at Mountain View took them to the championship game with landlocked schools.
Right.
So that's not even
That's a big deal.
That's not default by growth. That's default by coaching.
Right.
So props to those two gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Really,
I think Jeremy's going to do pretty well over there.
Yes, because I mean, a lot of people don't realize Mesa is just as big as Hamilton from an enrollment standpoint. So there's a lot of guys out there. There's kids out there that want to play football, and if you approach them right and you just kind of understand, hey, we can do a lot for you.
Opportunity.
Yeah, a lot of
opportunity
opportunity.
Around that campus, right?
Yeah, and Halfcock for the most part has won everywhere he's gone. So
he's got a
I
heck of a
see
track record.
Mesa being no exception.
He'll get them turned around for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, they need kind of a, I wouldn't call it stern, but firm leadership. You know,
yes,
and
yes,
I
they
think
do.
They need a guy that they can rally behind. That
correct.
You know, has done it. Has been around. He's going to gain their trust early, and if he gains their trust early,
correct, because there's a big pool of kids to choose from.
Yeah,
over
that's what
there.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
you combine all that together with his structure and balance and whatnot.
Great AD over there as well, David Kleka. So
yes,
so
you and I were talking about him before.
Yeah, this is year maybe 3 for him, 3 or 4.
Is he a football guy?
He's all about football and then some.
Okay.
He came over from Desert Vista, where he won. I don't know if it was AD of the year, but it was some award where we presented him, and we'll talk about the radio show in a second. We gave him a Sprouts gift card for the athletic department, and I forget what the reasoning was, but it was something to do with his prowess and helping the school reach new heights.
Yeah.
So he did well. Yeah, I speak very highly of him, and I'd probably say those
enough to warrant some recognition.
Absolutely,
which is big time.
Absolutely, and it's because of him that I've taken more of an interest in the Mesa athletic school district, Mesa School District, because we know it's number 1, and that's the Chandler Unified School District. I make no bones about that on the radio show to anybody.
Speak on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I couldn't agree more.
What they have done over the years is fantastic, and so in 2017, it might have been around this time, I was approached by AZ Preps to host the Saturday morning radio show because they had heard the podcasts that I've been hosting, and they kind of thought that I'd be a good fit. So this will actually be year number 9 coming up of hosting the radio show on Saturday morning. So that's widened my scope of Arizona sports, and not just football, the sports in general. I've got to be kind of well-versed in all of the sports in the entire state, from Page to Nogales. And that challenges me sometimes.
Yeah, you got
because,
some ground to cover and some reach, right?
Absolutely. And it's tough to stay abreast of some of those schools, just because most of the time they're playing at a lower classification, and nothing against smaller schools because it's no less intense.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But the focus has always been on the Phoenix metropolitan area.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to do a lot of smaller school baseball and basketball. Usually for football, I'm usually more big school oriented, but that's when I get to know some of the coaches at some of these smaller schools.
Well, that's kind of
understand what they're doing.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the differences.
And the travel that they have to go through.
Oh, man, they cover ground.
Is crazy. Yeah. I mean, I look at the Bashes and the Chandlers of the world, and okay, outside of a out of state game, you may go to Ahwatukee.
Yeah,
you may go to Scottsdale. Everything is within an hour. I look at Window Rock or a Page or even a Nogales or a Yuma, 3 hours on the regular for regular season games.
Yeah.
That's tough. And it's very tough for the baseball and basketball or for the non-football program. Because football, Friday night, okay, hey, you're off Saturday, Sunday. Some of these schools, hey, you take 3 hours, the game's over at 9:30. You're not back to campus at 1, depending on where you live. You might not get home till 1:30. You need to be in class by 8,
right,
8:30.
right.
So props to the rural schools out there.
And the thought on that would be, and I could be wrong, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would feel like that the group that's going to make the trip out there is pretty much mom and dad if they're both parents. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's not a lot of road fan support.
Yeah.
Football might be a little bit different because, again, you have the weekend.
Right. That's true.
But
Wednesday night's tough to get home at.
Absolutely.
1:30
Absolutely.
and have to be back in class.
Back to school or work or wherever they need to be. So, yeah.
So now you've got the radio show going. You've got C-Town Rivals going.
Yes.
What else are you involved with?
MLBBro.com.
Bro.
Yes, I am. MLB Bro.
Talk about it. What's the story with that?
We cover black and brown ball players. Meaning American ball. So a perfect example, Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter are brown because they're mixed. Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds are black because they're not mixed.
Right, sure.
So my job, and very, very fortunate to have this job. So I was with MLB.com for a long time. I left MLB.com to really pursue more reporting, to pursue more interviewing, to feel the game, to be part of it.
Okay.
Not really just confined to a press box, to be in a
clubhouse,
to get in it.
Touch it, see it, feel it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like,
correct.
Okay.
To high five players, to shake hands, that sort of thing.
That's cool.
So what I do is each week, I write a story on a black or brown Major League ball player. And in certain cases, I'll have a ton of quotes because I will have interviewed that person. I like to, so for instance, with the Diamondbacks, they've got three brown guys, Josh Naylor, Alec Thomas, and actually Jordan Lawler. He's back in the minor leagues. I'll go down there periodically because now the Diamondbacks, I've established a good relationship with them. But what I'll do is I'll also keep an eye on the visiting teams who's coming in and interview those guys. So I'll go from an Alec Thomas in the home clubhouse to an Andrew McCutchen in the visiting clubhouse.
Okay, yeah, sure.
They're here. Right, they're here.
You might as well. They're in the MLB. Let's
correct. And get 2 or 3 interviews in one shot and keep them in the can. And I usually write the story over the course of the week and tweak it on Sunday for Monday release.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you're putting something out every Monday or something.
There'll be every Monday something will drop by yours truly.
I don't know I'm not sure. I don't know how I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah.
So what a cool niche that is.
Yeah. So this is year 2. The
to
website.
Kind of like hone in on that specific group.
Correct.
That's cool.
And what's really cool. Good is the relationship with the players is really cool because we're not doing game stories. It's human interest stories.
Even better.
Right. So it's...
everyone does game stories. And those are cool, man, but they're just so high level.
Correct.
You're going to get the canned response.
Absolutely.
We're doing great. I think we're improving rapidly. And
so these guys open up to you. Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I wanted to do with you was, I mean, everyone's seen you on TV. Everyone's heard you on the radio. We all know, all the awesome work that you do in this area. But I'm learning stuff. And we've been to lunch a couple of times and done a few different things here and there, but I didn't know, the period of time in Brooklyn and the real. Like, this is why it's really cool for me to discover and uncover, I guess, a lot of cool things. And you get a chance to obviously put that out to people as well.
Correct.
And know Brett a little bit more than just the guy, on the sideline, taking a step down. And if you happen to catch, eye contact, like, hey, real quick handshake, and
Correct.
And you're back to doing what you're doing, and so are the guys that you're connecting with, on Fridays and whatnot. So, well, that's cool. So you've got a lot of things going on right now. I've been through a lot of things, and I'm sure you've taken little pieces and parts from all of that.
Yeah.
And putting it all together into this potpourri of just awesome.
It's fun. Yeah, I like to say it's a controlled busy.
Yeah.
There's always something going on. The school year is probably the busier time because kind of the basis is high school sports. But now for the last few weeks, I've been able to kind of have some time for myself and take a baseball road trip and collect some stories that are non-rushed, and just enjoying Friday nights because, yes, in a few weeks, it'll be that countdown where, hey, this is my last Friday night, not at a game through December. So
I got today, Tuesday, Wednesday will be the last nights that I don't have any practice to go to. It starts on Thursday for us. And so, it's that time of year where things really get going and ramping up. It's exciting, though. It's one of those things that you look forward to. There are those times, too, when you get into the 11th hour of the whole thing, and you're kind of like, oh, man, I'm a little worn out.
Right.
Then you go a month or two without it, and you're kind of like, okay.
You want to get right.
And that's
absolutely
that's the draw. I think that's what keeps us, coming back. And
correct.
It's cool for you because you're still, you're competing essentially, right? Or getting to be immersed in a competitive culture.
Right. I want to do as much as I can, and each interview I want to have it better than the previous interview, and it is.
I don't know that you're going to be able to top most of them, though, because the ones I hear are pretty dang good. I do like the Saturday morning show.
Cool.
Remember, sometimes I'll text
you. Yes,
I'm driving into practice in the facility there, whatever.
Sure.
Like, hey man, I hear you. Talking to
Jose or one of those guys.
That's 1060.
That's 1580.
1580. That's right. Okay.
That's,
cool.
And that's a lot of fun. That's we get the studio's up in Scottsdale, which I like being in the studio. Every now and then we'll hit a different school, depending on what's
like a little road show, maybe. Or
something absolutely. The selection show is always a fun challenge, whether it's the football one, and we can even touch on the football playoffs in a little bit, but the football is always the most anticipated, the selection show, and I'm, knock on wood, one of the first to know who's going where and all of that sort of stuff. The basketball shows are probably the most challenging because you've got the boys and the girls. Mm-hmm. You've got the open all the way down to 1A, and it seems like it gets tweaked a little bit year to year. But I think one of those years we talked about over 200 different teams.
Jeez,
because you have boys and girls open all the way to 2A.
100 teams each.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you start talking about 3A Sholo.
Do they all just start running together eventually?
It does. It really does.
I can imagine,
Because when you mention, I'll say Perry, are we talking boys, girls? Like it becomes, and I'm kind of the point guy, so I've got to make sure that I know this is the 4A boys. Okay, now we have a commercial. It's going to be the 5A boys, not the 4A girls. Like it's all over the place. Yeah, and then usually on days like that, we'll have coaches from the different schools.
Yeah, they all get to come in
and sometime I try to do as much research as I can on the subject, but if you haven't gotten to see that team play, it can be tough if you don't know a lot about the players. It can be.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Right. So it's.
I don't have a sample size to even go off of.
Right. So you ask about their upcoming opponents. You ask about their star player that may or may not be with them.
And if you went to research every single one of them to even just get a little snippet,
right?
Times 200.
It is a very
I can imagine that
challenging.
would be so time-consuming.
but it's a fun challenge.
Yeah,
it's one that I relish.
Well, there's excitement, man. Playoffs,
Yes.
right? Are we making it or are we not? There's
right,
drama,
because you
right?
definitely know if there's one time that everybody is looking and watching, it's the selection show.
That's true.
Yeah. And because it's on camera, it can't be, you're not just, you got to have some stuff memorized. You got to be good to go. You got to be,
So man, you got to be dialed in for that.
Yes.
So I know a lot of schools kind of make that almost like a reason to get together.
Yes.
You know, well, you see.
Absolutely, yes, because I want to say we had
NCAA basketball tournament. You see that locker rooms are rough when a team makes it and stuff like that.
Because we had it at Basha football for this last one, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. We had I'm trying to think. They all run together. Did we have the boys? We had the boys and girls because I think we even did the flag selection show as well. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing now. Flag football.
Yeah, there's that.
So it's
and female flag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The girls play that
flag. They're playing flag in junior high. Boys.
Right, but no,
that's
now
right.
we're talking.
The only flag in high school is girls. That's right.
Yeah,
so
that's interesting. Also to do play-by-play for that because that's a different. I don't want to say it's a different game. It's a different game. Much like Arena League or indoor is a different game than the 100-yard.
Yeah.
This is different because you're only getting first downs every 20
Have you done any 8-man football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Was that cool?
Props to the 1A Hayden Lobos, the 2-time defending champions.
Okay.
They've got a kid who his name is Kino Laronia. So and you got to imagine 1A schools, their graduating class, I think it's under 50. Mm-hmm. So most of their
400
boys
total, maybe.
Oh, I think it's less than that because their graduating class is like 50. So they've got like 25 to 30 boys and maybe 20 girls. So in total school, maybe
300, 250.
I think probably closer to 200. Yeah, total.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
This kid Kino Laronia, shortstop for the baseball team, running back for the football team. Most of the time for 1A, you can put up some video game numbers and hey, that's cool. This kid is a bona fide college player.
Okay.
I can't straight up say, he's D1, ASU, give him a scholarship, but he's a next level player and you don't get that often regardless of how good a 1A player is. You get some kids who are, he's cool. Well, maybe you should go try JUCO if he really... Now, Kino Laronia can play. He can play both sports very, very well in a school that gives him a scholarship. I'm talking about a 4-year school.
Right. They're going to be glad
is going to be well served.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes. So it's
cool to find those discoveries.
Yes,
right?
and that's something I wouldn't have been aware of if I wasn't doing the overall statewide show and doing play-by-play. Yeah, it's weird for their baseball team to have more kids on the field than football.
That's true.
Yeah, baseball. You got 9.
You
playing 8 men. How about that?
Wow. I never thought of it that way. But
good stuff.
That's definitely different.
It's a different game. So 8-man is it's cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So,
I've not had much experience with it. I know when we go to camp over the years, we were at Hebron. I think they were playing 8-man at one time.
Okay, yeah.
And it was cool talking with their coach and seeing their kids come in and they're getting their workouts in while we're up there at camp for 4 or 5 days.
Sure.
And it is a different game and it's a different pace, a different. I think schematically, obviously, there's 8 dudes, not 11. So
correct.
There's a ton of
and from a field broadcast standpoint, it's different because picture a rectangle within the gridiron.
Mm-hmm.
So when these guys are running down the sideline, he's out of bounds already.
Yeah,
because we're looking at the 100-yard. We're so used to that.
Yeah,
but no, the grid is